On the road, in the air, on the water. Buckle up. Always wear a life jacket.
Hi, I'm Rick Burnley from Kayak Angler Magazine, and I'm here with Cal, the owner of Yak-Ease, and he's got some really cool products to help you get the most out of your electrical systems on your kayak. Cal, take us a little bit through this boat that you guys set up here and what you've been doing with these Yak-Ease connectors.
We've been in business for 10 plus years, and actually we came out of the freshwater market. We do a lot in bass boats, walleye boats, and so on and so forth, all the way from trolling motors through electronics, all the way back to the starter battery. We make things that are really easy for the average person to understand how it works and how to do it. The issue today when you're using all the electronics in the kayaks is clean power. You got to have clean power that's delivered correctly and so on and so forth. And your electronics work really well. I came out of the technology business, done a lot of stuff with graphics. We wrote software and stuff, so really understand the power needs to drive the graphics cards that are in all these graphs and stuff these days. So we decided, oh, let's build something for the kayak guys. They really want to do it. We had a lot of requests for that. We've actually helped you with yours and so on and so forth. So that you could actually see how to do this really quickly and very easily. It's a very clean system. It's all designed to give you the power that you need where you need to go. We just came up with a brand new product for 2025. Got the Power Pak Pro, we call it. It's actually a system that contains a lithium battery. It's got all the needs that you need for your navigation in the front, your anchor light in the back. We've actually got internal red lights in here that you can see that are good at night. Green lights on the side, so you're lit up, number one, for safety. Two, number one, for fishing, because we all know that fishing is really good right at dark and right in the night. So I designed this kayak system for that. It includes all the wiring. It's all color-coded according to what you need. You can see the color code that we put on this particular board so you can see it. These are all color-coded into those harnesses and so on and so forth. So you've got anchor light that you're in for that. That's 9 feet long. You've got your front lights. You've got AC lights. You've got internal lights, or if you want to use a GoPro or whatever for that GoPro or anything like that. USB setup for your phone and so on and so forth. And then this actual item actually runs your graphs, but it's a completely separate system because they take more amperage than anything else. So depending on how many you put in a kayak, you can have up to 20 some amps running through there between Ford technology and a couple graphs. You can run 2022, so we run heavier gauge wire in here, and it directly connects into here. So when you're in storage or you need to move the kayak, you can take that box out of the kayak by just unhooking everything, bring it in, charge it up, whatever you need to do with it, keep it in the garage so somebody doesn't take it, you know, and you're golden. We sell a connection that you can actually plug in there to charge up. So if you look in here, it contains a battery, all the wiring that we need to do, so it's all plug and play. It'll handle any kind of battery, lead acid, AGM. We use lithium, but it's designed for up to 60 amp hour lithiums that'll fit in that same case. Foam in there for safety so it doesn't move around at all.
Before you shut that, can you show us how you pull these things apart, how easy it is?
See right here.
Chuck it in there and check that out.
Take that out. That's all you got to do.
That's it.
That one connection to take that battery out is all you need to do. That's how easy it goes together.
That's
These
amazing.
are all marine grade wire. So it's all tinned marine grade, so it's guaranteed not to actually corrode. It's as corrosion resistant as you can. We fused it here at the panel. The graphs are fused at the front because that's where they want you to fuse it. Everything else is supposed to be fused by the battery, so we fuse everything back here according to whatever need you have. So usually with these internal lights, and like the nav lights and stuff like that, they can take up to maybe 1.5 amps, maybe 2 amps. So we use 14 gauge wire, which handles that and delivers that power. Right. We put a meter on here so you can actually see the voltage of your battery. This round ring actually tells you how much battery life you have left. So you can see we're just like 75% of this battery, but we've been running this thing for 5 hours now. So we've actually done some testing at the shop that lasts 12 hours on a good lithium battery. So, and that's with everything on. So you wouldn't have everything on all the time.
And you were talking about clean power earlier.
Yep.
tell me the difference. Now, my home system on my kayak is just set up with some crimps that I got at the hardware store, you know, and the cables that came with the fish finder. I get interference, I get flipping on and off. How are you guys, you know, how do I avoid that kind of thing happening? What do you mean by clean power?
So yeah, all this wiring is brain grade wiring, and we know the mathematics of how much wire you can run for how long before you get any degradation. The stuff that you buy in the hardware store is made for internal use.
Right.
It's not made for marine stuff where you got hot, cold, humidity, you got all kinds of stuff and so on and so forth in there. It's not made for that.
Yeah.
Plus, it's not the materials that don't corrode.
Right.
It's actually made for inside type stuff. So the hardware store is going to have the cheapest stuff they can possibly find to put on there. We use only premium grade wire. What we do up here, you see these connections right here. They're all heat shrinkable butt splice connections. So once you connect that with your crimper, you heat shrink that down with a hair dryer or a heat gun. That connection is as solid as it can be. You not have something screwed into a panel. The panel can actually do that. Your ring terminal you bought at the hardware store can actually corrode, so you got lost there. So any type of corrosion, rust, any kind of stuff you get in there, that impedes voltage. So then you can't have clean power. So everything we do avoids all that nightmare. We actually fuse all these up here at the grass for the grass. And actually in this system right here, we use the right size connections for graphs and for forward-looking technology and everything. So when you put the right size wire in the right size butt splice and crimp it, you get the best connection. And when you heat shrink it, that makes it sealed. So sealed connections are the very best thing you can put in any kind of watercraft. I don't care where it is. All the stuff we built is to marine spec. And then in that battery system, there's a fuse panel like this. And that fuse system actually protects the whole system. So if something catastrophic were to happen, you'd have some kind of ground issue or whatever, you're going to blow the fuse back there before you hurt anything. So that's the whole system. We call it the Yak Power Pro. It's a Yak-Ease product, which is part of Connect-Ease. The ease is always the same, you know. But it's designed for kayakers for ease of installation, help you get more time on the water, because the less time you spend screwing around with rigging and stuff, the more time you can spend fishing, which is the whole goal.
And there's nothing worse than getting out there and the whole thing goes
kaput. Nothing worse than that, being out in the middle of the lake and all of a sudden it doesn't work. This whole company came out of me having a graph issue on the Great Lakes for salmon fishing. I crawled under there because my graph was doing this, because I was using hardware like what you're talking about. I crawled under there, I'm trying to do that, and my buddy, who's kind of the worst smart aleck in the world, screams, "Fish on!" I jump up and hit my head right on the bottom of the console.
There you go.
Cut it like that, so I got blood coming out of my head. So he actually come out, he's laughing, because guess what? There was no fish on, he was just pulling my leg. And you know, he took a video of that, and he shows it at every sports show we go to, every time we go to any donation or charity event. Hey, remember when I called that? You know, I'm like, yeah, I remember.
Well, that was the light bulb
that
moment
was a light
for
bulb for me that said, okay, I got to make something better.
When is this stuff going to be available? Is it available now?
This is available now. It will be launching mostly September 1 is when we're shipping to everybody. So it's all guaranteed 10 years. So we stand behind our product, and that's a full replacement guarantee if you have an issue, as long as it's not our, if it's our issue. If it's your issue, well, but full 10-year guarantee, covers the whole system and so on and so forth. And that's called the Yak-Ease Power Pak Pro. Then we have just a wiring system alone for people, because sometimes they want to do their own thing, which is the same setup as this, except we don't use our special connections. Just use that in case you want to do it on your own, so on and so forth. And then we do sell the box separately by itself.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
With a different connection on it, but it's very similar.
So you can get it as components, or you can buy the whole system all ready to go.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Now, our whole role is to make it easy for you to get on the water.
Right.
You know, because most people don't understand wiring.
Right.
They don't get it. They don't know. They're a little scared of it. They're like, oh, you know, so on and so forth. So I've been around wiring since I was a kid. through electrical contracting with AC, pulling wire and putting panels together. I did low voltage wire. In the computer industry, where we were doing a lot of work with graphics and power with graphics and so on and so forth. So we designed it for you or anybody else who really just wants something that is bulletproof, going to look and last forever. Put it in the boat, leave it in the boat, leave it in the kayak so that you have it wired up when you want to. And we usually make it portable enough where you can take your batteries in and out. Because we're in Minnesota. We have 2 seasons. One's called soft water, one's called the hard water. You can't use these in the hard water season unless you have skis on them, because frankly we got ice that's 3 foot thick. So we make it so it's easy to store if you need to, and so on and so forth.
But you can leave it on the kayak in between trips.
You can leave it on there if you want to.
That's game changing right there.
That's a game changer. You can leave it in there for your trips. You can put it together at home or snap it all together and charge it up, however you want to do it. Snap it all together, drag it to the lake, go do your fishing, come back. You know what we do is we find a lot of people figure out, hey, can I use that for camping? Can I use that for this? Can I use that for that? Sure. We make wiring kits, accessory kits for all that stuff. So.
And where can people find out more information about these products and their availability?
ConnectEase.com.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Cal. That was excellent.
Okay, you bet.
Yeah, man.